Peace to all my gods and goddesses out there. This is a new episode of Reasonable Citizens telling y'all how we're gonna get into the 5D matrix. Let's get into it.
And I don't really need nobody, yeah. I can't really see nobody, yeah. And I don't really need nobody.
A lot of people been promoting in these other fuck ass places like Gaia and shit like that. Y'all probably seen they've been promoting that we're going into the 5D, which is not the fucking case, y'all. They're trying to put y'all in the matrix, bro. As y'all probably heard watching these other guys, that these low vibrational entities function on through the third through sixth dimension. So everything we're doing is holding them up and keeping them alive type shit. So hence the reason why they're promoting we're going into the 5D. They still have control, y'all. And the 5D is the metaverse, them telling you misinformation like truth, but it's misinformation and shit like that. It's all to keep it under control so they can keep controlling the narrative and keep controlling our energies and not let us rise to where we need to be. So hence with the 5D matrix, they already did this once. They already stopped the rise in consciousness once. I'm gonna tell y'all they did this back in the 1890s through 1940s, y'all. They had everything that we got now, all the technology that we using, all this shit, they was using that in the 1890s. They had electric cars, they had self-parking cars, they had telecommunication devices. They had all of this shit, y'all. And what they did was they noticed that they was rising too high in frequency. Technology was getting too efficient and too pure. Energy source was pure, 100% electricity, no other thing. They was using simple shit to make the electricity too. So they had y'all just thinking Nikola Tesla was the only one pushing this shit, but no, they was really like high in technology and shit like that. And so what they did, these motherfuckers started a war, caused the Great Depression, and took all that shit away from everybody. That's why you saw everybody out there was so down bad, all that shit. That was attacking the rise in frequency. And it's been a couple times they came and attacked this rise in frequency. But I'm just giving y'all an example of how they did this the first time and how they about to do it again. Because they started with food shortages, taking the materials away from people like the electric cars and the different stuff that they was using in their houses. It was crazy. They put them out there on the streets and shit like that. And they showed us the pictures of them on the streets, but they didn't show us how they was thriving and had all these technologies and shit like that before this had happened. So they started that war and did all that propaganda shit to get a reason to take all this away from them and lower them back down to 3D because they was climbing too high. They was getting to that 5D technology, you know what I mean? Because they was finna start looking around and be like, all right, who the fuck is y'all motherfuckers in control? Exactly how it's happening right now, because history repeats itself, y'all. History repeats itself. And I'm gonna show y'all a couple pictures of the self-parking cars, the motherfucking needleless injections that they had, where they went to go get vaccines with no needle. It just was air, pumped them pumped them with the shit, bro. And that's how these motherfuckers called polio, caught all that other bullshit that they was catching back, and they could just shooting them up with them, bro. Lowering their frequency because it was getting too healthy. They was eating all the crops that the farmers were growing, because we all remember there was a lot of farmers back then like that. Then I was watching a video about weapons, right? Then a lot of these olden weapons was formed by farmers. So that made me connect the two together. I was like, why the fuck was farmers arming themselves? It wasn't the people coming to come take their shit and burn their fucking crops down. Think about it, y'all. The farmers armed themselves, start fighting these motherfuckers back, and that's how these big companies fuck them over. And so the farmers been fighting back too, y'all. That shit is an undercover war within itself, with these GMOs and the people who own these big GMO companies and shit like that. They killing off all the farmers. The farmers was trying to fight back and protect themselves back then too. So I'm saying history repeats himself. So what they're trying to do now is cause a big fall, y'all. So they can make it act like there's a glorious rise. Like, oh, we're 5D beings now. Look, we got flying cars, and look, we got brain chips and the metaverse and all this bullshit. Don't fall for it, y'all, because it's a fucking trap to have them in control. Because like we said, these low entities is only functioning through the 6D, and we're 9 ether beings, so we're functioning on the 9th dimension. So don't limit yourself thinking you in a fucking 5D. That's very limited. That's knocking your shit down, bro. That's really like hindering yourself. Cause that's like you hold yourself back all like 5, 10 other levels. Cause it's really 13, 32 different dimensions, but we can get to that another time. But as far as we going, we talking 9 through 12. If we're 9 through 12 dimensional beings, why the fuck you want to post up at 5? This is, hey, 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 don't nobody break it down like this. You see this on the surface level type shit. When you're reading this shit, it all looks good and great, but it's really not, y'all. But like I said, let me begin showing y'all these self-parking cars, these needleless injections, and these electric cars. I was back in the 1800s and the fucking early 1900s, y'all. Let me show y'all.
At Piedmont, California, an inventor has developed something to soothe the motorist's headache by putting the spare tire to work. He calls this device the Park Car and says it can be installed on any model. Watch how it works. Taking power from the drive shaft, the spare tire swings the rear end into the clear. Then he just retracts the spare, backs into the street, and away we go.
See, they had you guys confused now because they had you thinking it was an old looking car. It did look old, but that motherfucker was just as high tech as it is now. Like, look at this motherfucker. She was charging it, bro. Charging it. And look, that didn't take much electricity. Look at that device she has. It didn't take much. Them things was running natural. They only took away that veil and changed it. So that's hence why they started that Great Depression, right? So they could take all this shit away and put people in the back in a state of confusion and disarray, y'all. So basically, they had the electric cars, the needleless shots. Hold on, I'll show you guys the needless shots. And while we're in the 5D Matrix, they've been doing this shit since the 40s, y'all. The fucking needleless vaccines, that was like some futurist shit. They didn't use needles. They just had a syringe. They shot it up with them. That's how the motherfuckers was like catching polio, all that other crazy shit, getting sick and shit. Cause they was shooting their ass up with them when they went to it. And they told them how they got the people was, how they got the people was with saying this is new high-tech shit, come get on it. Like how they doing us now. But it's actually the same shit that they had back then. So what I'm telling y'all is how they trying to put us in the 5D Matrix is they're taking everything away again and finna start it again and come back with better technology and tell you some futuristic shit, but it's some shit they already been had, like some floating cars or some crazy shit. And they're gonna tell you aliens are real, but it's some crazy shit that they done been into and up to already. Hence they trying to control your mind back again.
Like the craziest movie y'all done never seen before, bro. Like everything gonna be happening at once type shit. And the crazier part, if y'all ever seen American Gods, it's gonna be on some like, it's gonna seem so surreal and normal at the same time. That's what nothing ain't people prepared for. Like, they gonna tell y'all this shit, and when y'all really see some of this shit, like the government bust out their UFOs and shit like that, y'all just still gonna just be looking and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it won't matter for you. Like, you still gonna try to go to work the next day. I know some of y'all gonna still try to go to work the next day type shit. And they come out and show y'all that shit. It'd be like, yeah, we fighting off these aliens and shit like that, yada yada. And everybody's like, all right, I'm gonna go to Target tomorrow. Like, bro, it's finna get wild out here, y'all. But before it gets wild, they want us to be in disarray. Hence why they try to pull another Great Depression, take all of our shit away so we won't know how to act. Then we gonna see this shit, then we gonna start purging and killing each other because we seeing spaceships in the sky. We think the game over, man. But it's really some other shit happening type shit that we need to expand in our consciousness and be fucking ready for it. It's all about preparation, y'all. Prepare for all this shit. Maybe none of this shit I say is gonna happen. Maybe some of it's gonna happen. Maybe nothing's gonna happen. Maybe you should be prepared for all of it. Mentally, at least. I ain't saying physically, but shit, mentally at least be prepared. You'll see something crazy. Either system collapse, or aliens come out the sky, or shifting consciousness start happening. People get rad in mass Christ consciousness, solar flare hit. Something gonna happen. They ain't chemtrailing for fucking nothing. Like, y'all pay attention to the fucking sky. I can look out my window, I see 3 or 4 chemtrails right now. They damn near doing right over the houses, y'all. They trying to keep us from rising in consciousness because they know this time it ain't gonna work the same as last time. They ain't finna have, the Great Depression went perfect for them type shit. This time it ain't finna go perfect for them type shit because we ain't going out like no bitches this time, y'all. This is some real shit. They're analyzing everything. They're like, fuck, because we said they're functioning in 6th dimension, y'all. So go study dimensions. When you're functioning on the 6th dimension, that means you can see the timeline. You can see the whole timeline, but you can't change nothing type shit. Hence the why they wrote this Bible and all that shit. Because they could see the timeline. They can see the timeline, but they can't change anything. So hence why they walking around this bitch looking like prophets and shit like that. Because they know what the time is. They seen it already, but they function on the 6D. And like I said, if y'all study dimensions, when you're functioning on the 6D, you can only see the timeline. You can't change the timeline. And when we're 9 ether beings, we're 9th dimensional beings. So, or through 9 through 12. So we're trying to ascend above that, to where we can change the timeline, be whoever we want to, and change and all this, doing that hoo-ha and shit like that. That's that Christ consciousness, that's that divinity, that's that full going through the 0 point of reality, controlling your realities and the multiple splits in realities and functioning all at the same time type shit. Our brains ain't on that level to comprehend that yet, but we getting there. But if they hinder you, type shit, they gonna keep you in a 5D and you ain't gonna even think like that. You gonna be like, haha, we can see the whole timeline, we can't change nothing. And they want you to think like that so they can keep you shackled. So you can be like, I can't change nothing. When they be like, yeah, we can't change nothing, so we gonna make them feel like they can't change nothing. Think about it, y'all. This shit gets so deep. But I don't want to make this video too long. Enlighten y'all. Don't play into none of this 5D, none of this propaganda bullshit they coming with y'all with, bro. Cause they read out of tricks, y'all. They playbook that they flipping through, they like, fuck it, flip back to square one, give them AIDS, fuck it, the Great Depression, let's do it all at once, fuck it, give them crack. Like, y'all see this shit? It's just like, fuck it, we're just gonna do every plan at once to see what sticks. Let's go to war. You see, they trying to throw it at the wall and be like, oh, this was sickness, that didn't stick. Jabs, that didn't stick. Nothing sticking, guys. Let's go harder. Let's just make it all happen at once. Because look, for the fall of an empire, they gonna start making outrageous laws and chaos and shit like that. What are we in now? Making outrageous laws. Shit that don't even be like, bro, y'all shouldn't even talked about this. But family, I just want to enlighten y'all. Go do your own research. Go tap in. You know what I mean? Go meditate on what I'm saying, bro. Because, like, you got to really pay attention to this shit. Because y'all don't want to get trapped, bro. Because they trying to trap y'all with different shit. Many different things. Metaverse, this 5D shit. Oh, this propaganda, the lies, all that other shit. They trying to drown you in misinformation and all that shit, bro. And you got to be able to use your first eye and weave through this shit. You gotta be able to weave through this shit, bro, and really see what the fuck is going on, bro. Really see what the fuck they doing, cause they are pulling this shit. They are, it's obvious. Like I said, y'all can watch the news. Biden that gave out crack pipes. They talking about the jab, done giving people AIDS now. They talking about this war in Ukraine. It just seems like it's all happening at once again. Like, what the fuck? They talking about the shelves going empty. Sound like a replay to me. But like I said, I'm not functioning on the 5D, so I'm not going to be hindered like that. But I'm here to warn y'all beforehand. So please, go within self, think about this message, really take in what I just told you, because this shit for real. They finna try out all they crazy shit in the book, and you can't fall for none of it. None of it. Peace, family. All love.